In 3, 2, 1.
Wait, that's Batman? No, it's the Wannabe Artist Podcast. Welcome back to the Wannabe Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Choi, and I have my other host with me.
This is Justin Choi.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. Okay, I was not ready for that.
I just came up with that on the spot, by the way. I know I'm a genius. Don't.
It's okay. I got
You don't
another
have
one.
to say.
I got another one.
Okay, go.
Okay. My name is Barry Allen.
How was that an intro? How are you gonna lead that into an intro?
I don't know. That's it.
Okay.
That's for the.
You just wanted to role play a little bit.
That's for the Flash TV show enjoyers out there.
Oh my god! Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Flash, what are we talking about today, dude?
So we have a very special film discussion for our 1-year anniversary episode. And this is a recommendation by me.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we do recommendations if you've forgotten. It's been a while.
It's been many episodes, but I was plotting. I was like, what could be very special and like in line with our very first episode?
And this was a surprise for me. He wouldn't tell me what it was until the movie was on. Like this motherfucker had me like closing my eyes while he was like, it was going.
I sat him down. I was like, okay, close your eyes until I tell you. And then I started playing, and that beautiful intro showed him what we were about to get into.
See Ezra Miller's beautiful face to just show me. That's what like, oh, this is the Flash.
Yeah. But I was looking at our Madam Web discussion. I was like, there's got to be something that would be perfect to like kind of be like a full arc for this first year. And I was reminded of the Flash. I was looking through every superhero movie.
Yeah. Wait, was Madam Web episode 1?
Yes, sir, it was.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
And it will make more sense as we talk about this movie.
Yeah.
But
I think that should be a tradition. Just like bad superhero movie every year anniversary.
We can talk about more often. I mean, enough are released per year.
True. You're very right.
We were talking about The Flash from 2023, starring Ezra Miller, the world's greatest criminal.
Bro's playing GTA in real life.
You mean thems?
Oh, you can say bro about a girl. Okay. Fuck you, bro. Woke police.
Anyway.
I know their pronouns are they, them.
I mean, this is going to be a spoiler discussion, but I'm going to give a quick synopsis.
Dude, spoilers don't work with this movie. Like, you just have to experience it for yourself.
Spoiler warning, but quick synopsis. Barry Allen uses his super speed to change the past, but his attempt to save his family creates a world without superheroes, forcing him to race for his life in order to save the future.
Wow.
And I didn't double check this, but this is deep into the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Following Zack Snyder's masterpiece, the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Not a bad movie at all. 4 hours for like a decent piece of work is heinous.
Yeah. And that's a completely separate conversation.
I'm not going to be talking about that.
Yeah. But The Flash, what did you think, Joshua?
What did I think? I thought many things when I watched this movie. It was
Give
a
me
trip.
some.
But I guess like generally, I thought this is. Well, I was expecting a really bad movie because I'd only seen the opening scene. You'd show me it before.
Yeah.
And it was still horrible here. But my impression of this movie was just like, oh, this is just like a horrendous, soulless superhero movie with bad CGI, which isn't like inaccurate.
Untrue.
But there is more nuance to it. I found myself low-key enjoying it by the end. Not because it was good.
Not the intended way.
Yeah. But this movie was undeniably a lot of fun to watch. And that's what I'll give it the most credit for.
Yeah. So I saw this when it released, opening day in Korea, actually. And completely empty theater. It was just me and my two friends.
That's really sad.
And I will say that I've not had a theater experience like this before.
I don't think I've had like a movie viewing experience in general like this before.
Yeah. where I
like
was just
ever.
very dumbfounded by what was being shown on screen,
Mm-hmm.
but also like reveling in its failure
Yeah.
because this is like schlock, like superhero schlock at its finest.
At its like most like intense.
Yeah.
You can just feel the slop and you could feel like that's one thing about this movie. When you're watching it, you just get that feeling that something's wrong. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just does not flow like a movie should.
Yeah, this isn't like a passion project or anything. Like this is
This
a
is
soulless
consumerism.
product that has just been like thrown together and like reworked and also like messed with and entangled and like pooped on and then like cleaned up and then thrown back in and then like somehow it made its way out to us.
It's one of those movies where like you know when you're working on like a school group project, but your group is like fuck ass. So like y-
The bad boys.
and you're like all procrastinating. So when you have that one night where you have to get it together, you're just like shitting out whatever you can just to
Yeah.
get it done. Like it's one of those movies where you can feel that energy. Like you can picture that going on.
In a boardroom.
Yeah, in a boardroom.
Yeah.
And in like when they were filming it. And just every aspect of the movie. You could just imagine that scenario playing over and over again for the effects department.
Oh yeah, because it's
The
like you can tell they were like, throwing multiverse, throwing that, throwing Michael Keaton, throwing cameo, throwing this notable character, and it's like I feel like it's at a like when this came out and like still today, like it's just at a point now where it's like you expect this, but at the same time, it's preposterous like every time it happens.
yeah, because there's just a certain level of audacity where it
Yeah,
checks off every box of like what you'd expect from a superhero movie like this.
yeah, and this is like it was released in the midst of like multiverse really taking off, especially with
Mm-hmm.
superhero movies.
Yeah.
Um, if you didn't know, this came out the same month as Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is rough.
So I'd say probably one of the best looking visually superhero movies out there versus this
Unironically
one.
mogged.
Yeah.
Film mogged. That is really tough.
Yeah. Cuz Spider-Verse was a $100 million film
Oh my god.
and
And this is
The Flash is
double
200
that.
to 220 million.
Christ.
And its return worldwide was $271 million.
Okay. So it turned a profit a little bit. It
No.
probably like broke even.
No, dude, it made back its budget
Plus 70
and then I forget the breakdown, but there's a certain percentage where you have to make like substantially more
to break
to be
even.
even considered profitable.
Oh
Yeah.
damn.
Because this was a year of like flop after flop after flop.
Yeah. Like Marvel and DC really couldn't catch a break.
Especially DC, because the past two releases before this were Black Adam and Shazam 2, Fury of the
Who the
Gods.
fuck saw those? I
Yeah.
saw Shazam 2, not because I wanted to.
Yeah, and both like spectacular failures. And I remember the projections for The Flash were pretty positive, but still,
Really?
like no one cared.
Yeah. Dude, Shazam 2. I just got a little rant. I had to watch that movie for my friend's birthday because she rented out the theater.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And that's the movie she chose?
I guess. Yeah. And my God, I wanted to kill myself because it was just
In
such a
Minecraft.
shit movie.
In
In
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah. But shout out to I forgot whose birthday it was. I'm such a bad friend. But shout out to them because that was a funny experience, regardless of how bad the movie was.
I don't even hate Shazam 2, but it's very weak and it's like just so throwaway.
Dude,
to me.
what's like they eat like Skittles in it, right? Or something?
Oh, the Skittles yeah.
Dude,
that was egregious.
That shit was like, holy fuck, this is a dystopian hellhole I'm living in.
But there was and this is gonna be a nice transition. There was a lot of production turmoil and conflicting ideas with Shazam 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Like this movie and Shazam 2.
Yeah, seamless transition. But yeah, I feel like you cannot talk about The Flash without talking about its very troubled production.
That I have no idea. Like no,
You don't.
I don't know about any of this.
Okay, well, perfect, because I wanted to bring this up. So this is from Discussing Film. So this project was announced back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Back
2014.
back when the DCEU was like starting out,
Holy shit, that is.
and it was given a tentative date of 2016 release
Oh my god. Okay.
before Justice League.
Holy.
And sorry, this is gonna be kind of a lot, but I'm gonna break this down.
Okay,
Oc-
wait, that does make sense though. That this would come out before Justice League.
yeah,
But yeah, go on.
and October of the next year, the first official announcement of a DC Universe slate featuring the Flash in a March 2018 spot. So its release was moved,
2 years.
and this is when Ezra Miller's casting as Barry Allen was first revealed. James Wan was offered a choice between directing Aquaman or The Flash, opting for the former, Aquaman.
Good choice.
By April 2015, directing duo Phil Lord and Chris Miller, known for Lego Movie and Jump Street, were working on a treatment for The Flash and being eyed to direct as well.
Okay.
They
Wait,
turned
what does a treatment mean?
like I'd say like the like visual kind of concept and planning
Oh,
for
okay.
the film.
Okay, cool.
They turned down the studio to instead direct Solo, and that didn't pan out as well.
Okay.
Seth Grahame-Smith was in talks next to direct the film as his directorial debut. He later wrote the treatment later, and though his script was retained, Grahame-Smith dropped out in April of 2016, a month after Ezra Miller made their debut as the Flash in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Wait, he was in that movie?
Yeah, he shows up in a dream sequence,
Oh shit.
and he
Is it
also
when they're like predicting the future?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and he also shows up in David Ayer's Suicide Squad
What?
really quickly.
When?
He just like stops one of the villains from like committing a crime, and he's like,
Okay.
"Did you forget your?" Oh, he was like, "Did you forget your pin today at the bank?"
Yeah, sorry. All I remember from that movie is Heathens by 21
Yeah.
Pilots.
June 2016, Rick Famuyiwa, known for Dope and The Mandalorian, had a vision for The Flash that was both appealing to younger audiences and working with Grahame-Smith's script. He was brought in as director, but by that September, the script had been completed. However, he left the project a month later, with reports saying that he wanted to go in a more mature direction, and the studio disagreed.
Damn.
January 27, Joby
What year?
2017, sorry.
Okay, shit.
Joby Harold joins the project to rework the script. It was completed by May, at which point Matthew Vaughn and Robert Zemeckis were both eyed to possibly direct. Sam Raimi, Mark Webb, Ben Affleck, and Jordan Peele had all reportedly turned down The Flash offers from Warner Bros. And then in that July, the film was retitled to Flashpoint.
Okay.
And
I cannot imagine Jordan Peele directing this. That
Yeah.
is strange.
and I don't know if at some point it was retitled to The Flash.
Okay.
In January 2018, directors John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein were in talks to direct The Flash, replacing Zemeckis as the primary consideration for the position. They were announced to be attached in March, and the film was retitled back to The Flash in April.
Okay.
March 2019.
So this was supposed to be released in 2016. And then it was 2018.
Yeah.
And now we're in 2019.
We're 2019.
And they still can't get it direct.
Yeah. Ezra Miller teams up with Grant Morrison, who is a known comic book writer, to like pitch a new version of the film
Okay.
because they weren't happy with the direction.
That it was going in.
And
Okay.
yeah, there was a lot of trouble there. By September 2020, The Flash was stated to be restarting DC's film continuity with Michael Keaton intended to replace Ben Affleck as Batman.
Okay.
October 2020 is when castings start to come out, and the release date was pushed all the way to November 2022. And then in January 2021, Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, started talking out against the role and the production and many of the directors because he was being treated very badly.
Shit.
A month later, pre-production began and much of the cast was announced. The film was announced for June 2022.
Okay.
Following impacts by COVID-19
Oh my god.
and a series of publicly covered allegations against Ezra Miller.
The one and only.
Yeah. There was another pushback, and production began again in August of 2022, and there was Black Adam and Shazam 2 in between that, and the film finally came out in June 2023.
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ,
that was
bro.
Big mouthful and lots of history, but it's necessary.
Fucking development hell, bro.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Dude, 2014. all the way to 2023
Yeah.
is insane.
But I think it's just like it's important to capture the full scope of this and just like look at the final product and be like, this is what made it to theaters.
After all of that,
Yeah.
dude. Like, why even waste all that time? You're just gonna shit out like this.
Yeah.
But damn, I did not know all that history. I didn't realize that the DCU was so like it.
Plagued with controversy.
Yes, dude. Jesus
Yeah, I
Christ.
mean, it's like
No wonder no one wants to direct these fucking movies, bro.
yeah.
It's like it seems like just the backbone of this corporation is just so shit. Like they can't like nothing is held together well.
Yeah, I don't know what Warner Bros is doing sometimes. And we see this like time and time again with big studio projects, but this one just like especially was like they could not get this project going.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. From my perspective, I just feel like the Flash out of any superhero has so much story potential.
Yeah. I mean, he had his own TV show.
Yeah,
for
an
Christ's
entire
sake.
TV series, like a line of comic books, and like it was in their reworking, like Flashpoint, like that's the story that most people know.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically kept a lot of that for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm not familiar with that comic story, but
yeah, it's a very famous comic where he goes back in time,
Mhm.
saves his parent, and then the world is just messed up when he gets
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
And that's all here. But
But
the
very different.
yeah, the direction they ended up choosing
Mhm.
was weird because it's riding off of Michael Keaton returning as Batman after
Yeah.
many decades.
It's interesting. You said earlier that Michael Keaton was slated to replace Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
But by the end of this movie, we have it's George Clooney, right?
yeah.
As Batman. So was the plan if they continue with the DCEU, was the plan to have George Clooney replace him?
I think that was just like a funny, like tongue-in-cheek cameo
Okay.
because I think George Clooney has been done with the role.
Okay, yeah.
He just kind of wanted to do that.
So honestly, I don't expect you to know what their plan was. They probably didn't have one. But
Yeah. I mean, like this movie was meant to like reboot this universe and like kind of be a fresh start.
I see. Okay.
It's hilarious
That's
to
another
me.
thing. It's just so confusing, like where this sits in the timeline because like he time travels in the end of the Snyder Cut, but then when he talks about time traveling at the beginning of this movie, Ben Affleck's Batman is like acting like he's never seen this before, even though he just did it in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, does this take place before or after? Like,
Yeah, there's no cohesion to this universe.
like the Marvel universe kind of sucks too, but at least they like have the basic fundamentals of
Building a universe.
creating a like discernible timeline.
I mean,
You know,
it's another conversation, but it's getting kind of wishy-washy with that recently.
True.
I want to stay on the Michael Keaton train because I know one of your favorite movies is
Oh yeah,
Birdman.
Birdman.
So
My favorite
what was it
movie.
like seeing him come back to this role?
I mean, I haven't seen his Batman, so I don't have the context required to really make an accurate comparison. But I
Yeah.
honestly didn't mind him as Batman. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like he was just phoning it in for a paycheck. Like it's not like this is high art or anything. He's not really acting. This
Yeah.
isn't really acting. This is like I don't know what to call superhero acting. It's like grown
Quick
up.
paycheck.
Yeah, paycheck basically. It's
Paycheck acting.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't mind him at all. I mean, when just what I know, like my like bias for him, just like I feel like that aspect of the character kind of carried it for me because I know how good he is or how good he can be. So I kind of gave him a pass when the script is being stupid or like
I feel like
if
this
it felt
just,
like it's
so poetic to me. It's like he came back for this phoned in Batman performance
true after
a decade after mocking
his
like
fucking
where it took his career.
yeah. I don't know, bro. It's just art mirrors reality.
Yeah.
It just happens like that sometimes. I didn't really think about that perspective, but now that I think about it, like that's kind of sad. But at the same time, that it makes Birdman better because
It does.
it's proving that it's real, bro.
Yeah.
You can't escape it.
Dude, those numbers were too big on that paycheck.
On
He
God.
could not say no.
Yeah.
But we should talk about the meat of this project.
Oh my God.
Ezra Miller.
Oh my.
What do we think about them?
All right. Well, I just recently got into Ezra Miller, kind of like, cause I watched.
What?
Okay, well, I don't support anything they've done, obviously, but I watched Perks of Being a Wallflower, and then right after that is when I watched this movie. So I got a whole lot of Ezra Miller recently, and I mean, outside of his controversy, I kind of don't mind him. I think he's kind of charismatic.
Mm.
I enjoy his attitude. I really think he brings a unique kind of dynamic to movies whenever he's in them. Whenever they're in them, sorry.
Very interesting.
But I don't know. I guess with the context of all the shit that's happened concerning them, it's kind of hard, especially because it was happening in the midst of this movie. It's kind of hard to separate those two things, especially when
Absolutely
the
not.
performance here is just so like, it's just Ezra Miller. It's not The Flash. It's not
Yeah.
Barry Allen. It's just Ezra Miller.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed them in some movies. Like they're decent in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mhm.
After School and We Need to Talk About Kevin are probably their best roles,
Mhm.
but they just do not work in this rendition of Flash. And I think that just stems from their approach to adapting this character. Like I just think this
Mhm.
was, and I'm not even a stickler for adaptations, but this is just, like, why was this approach to Barry Allen the Flash?
It feels very much like a caricature of like, um, fuck, what is Spider-Man's real name?
Peter Parker?
Peter Parker. I kept thinking Peter Griffin in my head. I couldn't escape it. Oh, yeah, Peter Parker. It just
I
feels like
would've
a
lost it if
caricature
you
of
said
like
that.
the Peter Parker type character.
Yeah.
Where it's like very nerdy, like socially awkward, like not good with the girls, but like a good heart, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It feels like a very exaggerated version of that. But the thing is, I don't know what Barry Allen is supposed to be. I haven't seen the TV show. I haven't read
Mm.
any comics, so I don't really know what are the character traits of Barry Allen. At least when it comes to like the comics.
I mean, there is a lot of crossover between him and Spider-Man, but this one definitely plays up the, like, social outcast thing a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's like, it's so not charming in this adaptation. And like he's usually a much more confident and like um chattish kind of character.
Okay, yeah. That's the impression I got from the parts of the CW show
Yeah.
I've seen. Much more level-headed than what we got here.
Yeah. And I just like, yeah. Okay, I think it's more relevant than ever to talk about this kind of movie because 2025 is a weird year for main characters where they're both the same actor.
Mm. Yeah.
We got Mickey 17, Sinners, The Monkey.
Oh my god.
More
Yes.
that I'm probably not thinking of right now.
Yeah.
But this is what started it.
This is the worst of it.
Yeah.
Dog, I could not stand the fucking other Barry Allen, the younger one.
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. Like, I get that he has to be a little bit less like mature, but dude, this Barry Allen, he's just a fucking bumbling idiot the whole time. And it's just unbearable. It's one of the worst parts of the movie for sure.
And it's like, I see where they're trying to go with like the older Barry Allen trying to be a mentor towards his younger self. But it's like they don't really act very different.
Yeah.
Or at least the performance isn't giving enough.
It just feels like one of them has like minus 50 brain cells.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. There's like the memer one and then the slightly more like I've seen some shit one.
Yeah, but still cracking jokes.
Yeah. And it's like, besides just the performance not being there, the illusion is definitely destroyed by the horrendous like deepfake CGI that is placed over the secondary Barry in any given scene.
Which is like the most unnecessary use of CGI I think I've ever seen it. Like the hair was enough. Like I don't believe that Ezra Miller is like like an early 20-year-old like young adult anyways. So like why do we need to do the CGI face? Like
Mm.
having two haircuts to distinct the two is perfectly fine.
And I didn't really focus on this. Like I noticed it the first time, but on this watch, I realized how much they were jumping back and forth between who would be the
Has
CGI model, who would not be.
it low-key like slips by you sometimes if you're not really paying attention.
I was paying attention to
There's
it this
certain
entire
shots
time.
where you can't not pay attention to it, but sometimes it would slip by me and then you'd point it out and then I'd realize. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good transition to the other part of this movie that's kind of crazy.
No,
The CGI.
the opening.
Just the whole movie, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is just littered with like uncanny valley CGI, like humans. It really adds this very weird vibe to the whole movie.
Otherworldly.
Yeah, otherworldly in a very unintentional way. But this is this is the part where I kind of enjoy this movie. I feel like that aspect of this movie's visual identity is really unique. Like the bad, like primitive looking CGI kind of adds like a very weird character to it. That's kind of intriguing.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you can't take your eyes off it.
I mean, when one of the fucking Chrono Bowl, which is like one of the main plot devices in the movie, when it's all like weird CGI humans all over the screen, like it's just a part of the movie that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like it looks bad objectively, but I kind of like it. Like I kind of fuck with it.
I'm like constantly entertained by this movie at any given
Yeah.
point. Like there's something crazy going on screen pretty much through the entire way through.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wanted to bring up a director comment because there was a bunch of funny interviews. Did I mention who ended up finally directing?
Who?
It was Andy Muschietti,
Are you
who's
serious?
the director of
It,
yeah,
right?
both the recent It movies
Oh
and
my God.
Mama, which I haven't seen.
Mama, which one's that one?
It has Jessica Chastain and Nikolai Costa-Waldau from Game of Thrones.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think smaller budget horror.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's an interesting choice for a
yeah.
director.
he
Low key,
was sorry.
I can kind of see like parallels between this movie and like It Chapter 2. They
Mm.
kind of have like a similar vibe.
Yeah. But in an interview, he was talking about like just some of the production, and he was asked about the VFX and like why they look so wonky. And he said, the idea, of course, is we are in the perspective of the Flash. Everything is distorted in terms of lights and textures.
Bullshit.
Yeah, which is like, okay. Like, yeah, sure, like the scenes in like his perspective and when he's going super fast can be crazy. But just like the rest of the movie and like
That doesn't make it look any less like.
yeah, that's
Doesn't
not an
make it any less
excuse.
distracting.
Yeah. And
I-
this is where I'm like, okay, like I feel like some of Robert Zemeckis' energy stayed with this script and this project because most of his movies look like this.
It's like written in the screenplay,
Like this is literally Polar Express come to life.
Polar Express like mixed with like real life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as much as the CGI looks bad, it's kind of like I wouldn't want this movie without it because I feel like there'd
Yeah.
be a level of enjoyment lost because the story is just like the story's insane. I feel like the bad CGI kind of elevates it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the story is like this movie's 2 hours long,
Yeah.
which is kind of a horrendous thing to do in a superhero movie. But when you watch the movie, you kind of realize like this had to be 2 hours long because there's just so much shit in the story. Like there's so many directions that
Yeah.
they decided to take with this story and so many like just different places they went. There were just so many different areas of the map that they explored.
Yeah, it's like it's trying to be this multiverse thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also yeah, like the Flashpoint, obviously.
time travel story,
Yeah, this time travel,
but it's
and
also
then
incorporating like the new like cameo characters as well.
yeah, and like it's trying to be a reset, but also like a new starting point. It's just like it's all over the place, and like
Like you could feel in the movie that this script needed cuts.
oh yeah, oh it's
Like
trying to be like a Flash origin story, kind of.
yeah, that too. And I do think they like handled that in a pretty good way.
Uh-huh.
Like by having the younger Barry and having his origin sort of be the main focus of the story
Yeah,
so that we have that context for his character. But I don't know. There were just
it
some
is kind of
things
interesting.
there's some things they needed to pick and choose. Even though I was low key entertained the whole way through, like everything they did with this movie, like when I'm looking at it from an objective standpoint, like yeah, it would have been a better experience if like half an hour was cut and we just got a standard 90-minute superhero movie.
um, okay, we brought up the opening, but I'll bring it up
Oh
again
my god.
because it's very glorious. There's a very lots of extended just like sequences that go on longer than they should, and
Yeah.
one of them is in the opening, and it's the Flash saving a bunch of babies falling from a hospital.
Yeah.
And this is where the Robert Zemeckis-ness is like on full display, and these babies are just these horrible
Ew.
CGI creations
I just want them all to die, bro. I just did not want them to be saved.
in the Flash
In the Flash,
yeah.
yeah. Dude, it's just like okay, yeah, this scene brings something up, and it's that like I really don't know how we can depict stuff like this with the Flash in a like an engaging way. Because the slow motion like action scenes in
Yeah.
air quotes at a certain point just become really grating. And it's like, okay, like we're just like this is just going on and on. It's not very engaging
Yeah.
anymore. Like and I don't really have like a solution to it because it's like that's just something that's fundamentally part of the character.
Yeah.
Like he's super fast. How
And I
can you
guess it
portray that?
just like not dragging it on for this long.
Yeah.
Like they show like every single action he does. But
Dude,
there is some funny
the
moments.
way he eats like the candy bar, like chips or whatever, is
Yeah.
just so unsettling.
Oh, the burrito.
Like why is he moving like that? I did not
And when
like
he
that at
puts the baby in the microwave, it's pretty good.
all. Should have came out like cooked.
There were some really good memes when this movie was first coming
Oh my
out.
god, yeah. The infant did not survive. That's my favorite one.
What did you do?
I was laughing my ass off when that happened.
A standout one that
Oh,
Ezra Miller
yeah.
says to himself, I could drug you.
Dude, foreshadowing, bro. Unsubtle foreshadowing. My favorite is when they all land together.
Oh, yeah.
Superwoman and the two berries. When they
Yeah.
all land and the camera pans like a fucking like you're
Supergirl.
sorry, Supergirl, sorry. And the camera pans like you're transitioning from like a cutscene to like gameplay. Like it's like that's another part of this movie. There's so many sequences that just look like a video game cutscene.
It is video
Like
gamey
when
as fuck.
Supergirl like first like destroys all those guards.
Yeah.
That is it's a one take, but the CGI is so present that it just feels like a full on video game cutscene.
There's a bunch of those where they're like trying to flex like this one shot action scene, and it's just like it looks so bad though.
This movie just like it's so like polished, but like it feels unfinished at the same
Yeah.
time. There's this like weird disconnect that like contributes just the weird vibe going on. Like it really is something you need to see to believe. Like we can describe it all day long, but like the experience you get from watching this movie is like unlike anything you'll ever see in film.
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
And I ironically and unironically love it for those reasons. And like
Same.
the same way I have a love for Madam Web. It's just
Yeah, it was reminiscent of Madam Web, but I feel like this went even further than that.
yeah, it's in a very different way.
Yeah.
Like this is feels weird saying, but like you can see the angle or approach that they're trying to get at with this movie
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to Madam Web, where it's just like, why is this even made?
Yeah. I did really enjoy the I guess like the final act of this movie conceptually. like the idea of this like final battle they keep like having to redo over and over again.
Yeah.
Like that to me was really interesting. I just love like time loop esque
Mm.
stories. And like the concept of like the Barry Allen that was like really old, like conceptually to me was really cool. Even though execution wise it was like not great. It looked like shit.
It was really
But
fucking stupid.
but like that idea like felt very like comic booky.
Bros. Yeah, I know. But it's just like not even the reverse Flash. It's literally just like a purple spiky evil Flash.
Dude, I love his little jump scare when he has like a dream about him.
Oh yeah, yeah. The FNAF jump scare
Yes.
moment.
It's reminiscent of like that jump scare in Spider-Man 1 with
Yeah.
the Green Goblin.
It is just like so nonsense in that final act where it's
Oh
like
yeah, no, the story doesn't
yeah,
make any sense at a certain point. Like it's just like
evil Flash and also them like trying to stop Zod
yeah.
from destroying the world.
But then the Flash sacrifices himself, but since he's the future one, that
Yeah.
one dies. But he was all like, I've been stuck like this forever.
Yeah.
But then he died at the beginning. So how is he there? It just doesn't make any sense. It just
Yeah, because when Michael Keaton or when this Batman explains with the noodles, he's like,
Mhm.
when you change something, it creates like
A new path.
new past and a new future.
Yeah.
So if you killed yourself, that wouldn't kill a future version of yourself. It would
Yeah,
create
it
a
would just
new future, right?
yeah. The rules they establish just don't follow with
Yeah.
what happens in the story.
Yeah, because
Because they needed to explain how the world got all messed up by him
yeah,
changing that one thing, but then they can't. It works against how the final act plays out.
yeah. And then the like so there's this like overarching thing with like his dad and like the emotional climax of the movie. And
Mhm.
like him not there not being evidence that he didn't kill the mom.
Mhm.
But then he goes back in time in the movie and then like moves a can of tomatoes to the top shelf
Yeah.
and then gets his dad like um
Because his dad
out.
originally didn't look at the camera, so they
Yeah.
couldn't tell it was him. But since they now have footage that he looked at the camera,
Yeah, what's the term for it? He gets him
acquitted.
yeah, acquitted
Yeah.
from the charge.
Yeah.
And then he just hops into that universe and is like, "Oh, my dad's free and I'm here."
Mm-hmm. But like, why would he do that? Because the last time he did that, it fucked everything up. So
Yeah.
why would he risk that again?
So like shouldn't there be a consequence here?
I mean, there was because the Batman became like George Clooney.
But like
That's it.
the face just ended up being different, really.
Yeah.
And also like there should be another Flash
Yeah.
in this universe.
Well, I mean, because he returned back to his. Wait, no,
No, he didn't cuz he made a new one.
he made a new one, dude. It just doesn't
Am
make
I
sense.
just yeah, exactly. We're not trying to like dude,
Okay.
the film doesn't even know what it wants to do.
Yeah, the thing
But I
about
just
time travel is that there's always this
yeah.
kind of thing, but like, I think there's a limit. Like, you can't just excuse when the story just straight
Yeah.
up just does whatever it wants.
Cuz he changes something, like it's not a death, but he changes like a pivotal point in time.
Yeah.
And so he creates a new future.
Also, he has like a whole conversation with his mother too.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, if we're like they talk about the butterfly effect. It's like, okay, what if like that conversation kept her long enough to where she would miss getting murdered or something? Like it just didn't make sense that he would be able to do that and things still just go back to it just boils down to the issue that like this movie was rushed. And
Yeah.
that this movie was just shot out without any thought.
Yeah, because this like Flashpoint idea for this movie, approach to this movie
Mm-hmm.
was brought by Ezra Miller and that comic writer.
Mm.
Like I don't remember the original plans or like reading into them, but like there was so many different options. And there was like
Mhm.
I brought up Cyborg cuz I thought that was important. There was a point where it was going to be like a team up movie.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn. That would have been interesting. That would have been more bearable than the fucking two Barry Allens.
Exactly.
Damn, rip Cyborg, bro. He got like no representation in this
Nope.
whole DCE, dude. Like he is in nothing except Justice League and Snyder Cut.
Yeah, and he was just done dirty behind the scenes apparently by Joss Whedon.
That's fucked, bro.
who's a major a-hole apparently.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. What did you think of the infamous Chronoball scene where we get a flash into other Earths
Oh my god.
colliding on Earths?
It's just unnecessary,
Yeah.
dude. Like, can we just stop? Like, I don't want to see Nicolas Cage Superman. I don't think I ever like gross CGI Nicolas Cage Superman is not something I ever expected to see and
Yeah.
ever wanted to see. But I guess here we are. I got to see that and it was horrible.
Yeah,
That was
dude, he was asked in an interview too. He was like, or they were asking him like, what did you think of your Flash moment? He was like, oh, that's not stuff I shot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did they just ask him like, can we just CGI you in this movie?
No, like apparently they shot something different and then that's not what was in the movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
But they could use his likeness.
yeah, that's fucking okay. That is stupid.
And also, yeah, to those other actors, that's like low-key disrespectful to pull a CGI Star Wars moment and bring them back from the dead.
And it's just like it just felt so unnecessary. Like it's like a
It's literally
it's not a cool sequence, but it's a very like out there sequence that I don't mind, but the fact that it just went like all fucking cameo bullshit is just like it takes you out. You're like, dude, come on, can we just get on with it?
It's like this very similar kind of moment in Across the Spider-Verse where it's literally the cameo show, but I feel like there's just a clear distinction between what's adding to the story and is like smart and like adding to the world building versus literally just being like, oh, look at this, look at a past, look at a DC before. Like,
dude, I can't shake off the perspective of like watching. What if you watch this movie on like heavy drugs? Like how because low-key, like it sucks to watch the fucking CGI Nicolas Cage Superman sober, but if you're on some shit and you saw that, low-key, that would be insane.
do you know what that's a reference to?
What?
So Tim Burton was supposed to make a Superman movie with Nicolas Cage starring,
Are you serious?
but it was canceled.
Thank God, bro.
And apparently he was supposed to have that hair too.
Oh my God. Dude, Nicolas Cage's Superman is like, no. Please no.
There's a timeline where that happened.
We're not living in it. Maybe if we go back and change something, we'll be in it.
But no, we could get him now.
His old ass.
Yeah. As Superman. Oh wait, no, we got Superman already.
Yeah, we already got Superman, so.
But yeah, I don't know how much more we have to say, but I think it's really funny to talk about this movie considering that we're getting a new DC universe in a couple months.
I mean, good riddance. It just seemed like a mess
next month.
at this point.
Yeah.
Like they needed just a full reset. I do still recommend this movie though to anyone who's listening.
I do too, yeah.
It is like quite the experience. Like what you think you're going to get, you're not going to get that. Just that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like the conversation from when we talked about Madam Web, like it hasn't changed that much.
What do you mean?
Like about superhero movies in general. Like we're
yeah.
still at a weird spot.
Well, I mean, I watched Thunderbolts recently and I thought that was pretty decent.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So, I mean, it's not enough for me to be like, we're back. But like, I don't know. It was just refreshing to watch a superhero movie that tried being a movie, even if it was just doing the bare minimum.
But it's just like we're in this cycle right now where it's like every time we get a superhero movie that's like halfway decent, everyone has hope again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's because the standards are just so low now.
Yeah, which is very interesting as we have Superman and Fantastic Four both coming up still.
Yeah, and we'll see how they go. I mean, I have high hopes for both, but I'm not expecting the best, just to be safe.
Yeah. Fantastic Four, I don't know. Superman, I am excited for. James Gunn, I do like a lot.
You watched the newest trailer?
I might have.
It's good. It looks pretty good.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
Appropriately comic booky, unlike The Flash.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where it's schlocky. Yeah. I don't know. You got anything else to say?
Not really, honestly. That's Like, a lot of the things I do have to say are like, you just gotta watch the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do it justice by like explaining it.
Can air it out. This is the last chance you'll get.
I mean, okay, this is just my personal experience. I watched the first half of this movie when I was like really tired, just really delirious.
Oh yeah,
So
2 sittings.
yeah, it was a 2-sitting movie, and that was. I felt like I got 2 experiences, like tired experience and then like the fully awake experience for the second half.
Lol.
And yeah, that was just a little anecdote.
Oh, very funny post-credit scene
Oh my god, yeah.
with little Aquaman cameo.
For like no reason. They don't even like. Okay, Justin, you were saying that like, oh yeah, it's just to tell people that Aquaman's coming next, but like they don't even like say anything like that hints at that. It's just he's there. That's it. It's like they can't do anything right in these stupid movies, bro. They can't even do the post-credit scene right, which is like the easiest thing to do.
Well, it's because like at this point they can't even tease like a major event because like the universe was dead like a year at
And
this
they're
point.
and they're not sure if it's coming out or not.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. They just have to play it safe.
Yeah. I mean, you liked Aquaman too, right?
No, it's fucking boring as shit.
I did not like that one.
Did not
either.
have the sauce that the first one had.
For real. Oh, we should talk about Aquaman sometime.
I don't really want to rewatch that movie though. Maybe
I feel like it stayed in my heart
a big fan
long
maybe.
enough. Like I think I don't know. Okay, maybe I like Aquaman a little more. Okay. Rating time.
I'll give this movie like I forgot what I gave it on Letterboxd. I think like a 4.
Oh, this sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 stars.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
because
But
it's bad, but I enjoyed it.
yeah. But
So
this one, like Aquaman, like Madam Web, gets a little special heart with it.
yeah,
because I like
because of
them.
the sauce. There's undeniable sauce.
Yeah, this isn't like the most recent Captain Marvel or like Ant-Man 3.
Or like Suicide Squad.
Yeah, where it's just like dreadful experience and I'd never revisit it.
Yeah.
Like I'll come back to this one every once in a
Yeah.
while.
But Suicide Squad gave us Heathens. That song makes you feel like I'm the villain, so props.
You're the villain in someone's story, you know.
That song is tough, guys. You should love 21 Pilots.
Yeah, did you like the music choices in The Flash?
Wait, they actually were good. They played the fucking Supergrass song.
Yeah.
All right, I fucking love that song. I was hyped when they were playing that.
Mhm.
What else did they play? I
Nah.
think that was the most notable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that
We
song.
are young.
More people need to listen to that. And yeah.
Yeah. So that was the masterpiece that is The Flash.
That was the Flash discussion. Yes.
By the end of this movie, were you happy or were you angry at
Oh,
me?
I was happy. Yeah. No, I that was a great experience.
Okay.
Bad movie,
That's
great
good.
experience. So I did not regret my time.
I knew this would be the perfect choice.
Yeah. When you said it was a 2-hour movie, I was like, holy shit, what am I getting into?
Yeah.
But low key, like 2 hours well spent.
Hell yeah. That's all I could have hoped for.
You did it.
Yeah. That was our very, very special anniversary episode.
Mm-hmm. Did we even say that in the intro? I don't think we said that. Yeah, this is the 1-year anniversary for our podcast.
No, I said that.
Oh, wait, you did?
Yeah, as I was
Okay, never
introducing the
mind.
movie.
Never mind.
I got this
sometimes.
locked. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm a pro at this. We're both pros.
Yeah, totally.
All
right.
I don't know. It's been a good year.
Yeah. A lot has changed.
Yeah, like this is still a very personal, just for us project.
Yeah.
But I like going back and cycling through some of the old episodes and going like, holy shit, that's where we were at this point in time.
Yeah. Same, honestly.
Yeah. Here's to another great year of movies and music.
In more episodes.
And more episodes.
Because 13 amongst 365 days is kind of pathetic.
Hey, we're busy, boys. But okay, we will have a lot of time this summer.
14 episodes.
Yeah.
That's our goal. Just gotta one up yourself every time.
There's a lot of stuff that's released since Mickey 17.
Oh my god.
That we need to talk about. So we'll be back soon, hopefully.
With whatever that is.
Yeah. No, I got some ideas. Don't worry. I'm cooking.
And with more recommendations, because we need to do more of those.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about the 1975.
Yeah, 1975. Joshua recommended A Silent Voice a few episodes ago.
A few episodes. I think it's literally been like almost a year.
Wait, that's kind of awesome. So hopefully we'll talk about that soon.
Watch that damn movie, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, though, bye-bye. Thanks for listening. If you did.
Bye.
Flash out.